Hello everyone, and happy spring to you all. I'm in Canada here, and it is late March, and so springtime has officially arrived. I can't say that I'm unhappy about it, as it has been a long, cold, and very snowy winter here. And so I'm looking forward to wearing shorts and enjoying some nice warm sunny weather. So I just wanted to do a bit of an update video on what I've done in my shop in the past few months now. Here I'll start with this here. This is just a small project I'm working on. It is a set of brand new rims off of a Ford F-150. And so I'll be giving them a thorough cleaning, including the tires are a little bit dirty there. So I'll give this a good cleaning and decontaminating and get them ready to apply a ceramic coating. In this case here, the client has opted to use Geon. This is Geon rim. And it's a very good product. I've used it quite a number of times. It's very easy to work with, very durable, and does a great job. And so that will be my project for the next day or so. But I also wanted to just give a bit of an update of what I've done. I guess during this past winter, I've been doing a considerable amount of paint correction. And of course, by doing paint correction, you use a lot of compounds and polishes. And I do have a variety here that I have on my polishing shelf here, and fortunately, some are create less dust than others, but unfortunately, they all do create dust, and so that unfortunately becomes into our environment. And nothing bugs me more than when I'm working on a black vehicle and always working against dust. You wipe an area, and although I do have my wool brush that I can kind of dust it with. It still is frustrating to have a whole lot of dust accumulating. And that is one of the reasons I chose to go with a tube heater, was to minimize the dust level in the shop. But I've been finding that although it's worked well, it really isn't the end all be all. And so I did a bit of research, and I decided to go with an air filter. And in this case here, I went with this, it's a RIKON unit. I believe it's the 1100. And I purchased this, it's been probably about 2 months now, and it has worked wonderfully to minimize the dust level. And so you have, on this side here, you've got the initial filter that accumulates the larger particles. And inside the unit, there's like a bag filter, and it will actually trap smaller microns of dust. And so it has worked really, really well in keeping the dust level down. Sorry, I'm aiming upwards here, and hopefully the lighting won't affect it too much. But again, it takes in the dust on this end here, and it actually comes out over on this side. And it has 3 settings. I believe it's 560 CFM, 750, and then 1100. And the wonderful thing about this unit, sorry, I got to reach for it here, is it comes with a remote control. And what you can do is, in this case here, you turn it on. And so that would be the first setting. And then you go to the medium fan setting. And then the high fan setting. And as well, it also has a timer on it. So you can it'll go on for an hour, 2 hours, or 4 hours. And then we'll shut off automatically. And so here, I'll just shut it off here. Pretend that was an hour's worth, and it filters the air in the room and removes a real good amount of dust. And yeah, in this case here, I went with a product or a manufacturer called RIKON. They were very, very helpful. I called them a number of times before purchasing, as I wanted some advice as to what the best placement would be. And so they suggested the center of the room, and to bring it down, they said ideally it should be up about 8 feet from the floor. And so in this room I have 12-foot ceiling, so I dropped it down about 3 feet and just hung it there. And it's a little louder than I'd like, but it's not bad. Again, it really does a great job of minimizing the dust. Again, like I said, there's nothing worse than having a dark vehicle and working on it and working really hard on perfecting the paint and having dust on the surface. So that has worked exceptionally well in addressing that issue. And the other thing that I've done, oh yes, another thing actually I've worked on is my, I have this, I have a small compressor. You know, it's not something that I need a whole lot of air. I don't have pneumatic tools or anything, but I do like to, you know, blow up my pads, you know, fill up tires, use it for the interior of the car. And this is where the, I guess the issue with using it on the interior of the car, I was really adamant on trying to create a dry air, if you will. And there are many ways of doing it, and there's a lot of expensive ways of doing it. But I chose to go with a filter. It's called Motor Guard, and it's right here. And this is it's a really funny filter. It actually looks like a roll of toilet paper. It's really, really dense. And so what you do is you unscrew this and pop the filter in and close it up, and that will entrap, you know, moisture, dirt, what have you, from getting into the airline. And I put it here just because it's easy to get to. One of the things with this Motor Guard, I guess with the research I've done, is never to leave the filter, like if you're going to use it for a day or a couple of days, is not to leave that filter enclosed in there for weeks or months at a time, because it could cause corrosion. So they do suggest to open it, remove the filter, let it air dry, let the, you know, leave it somewhat loose so this can, you know, dry out. And then of course when you're ready to use it, you put the filter in, clamp it down, and you're ready to go. And ideally, it would have been better, you know, if anybody's really knowledgeable in compressors, it would have been better to have it nearer the source. And as you can see, as I go up here, it goes into the to the reel. And if, you know, it would have been too difficult to have the filter up there to get up and down, and it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. And I know ideally it should be closer to the source at the end, or the end of it. I put it here, and this is so far, for as much as I've used it, it has kept the air nice and dry, clean. Obviously, it wasn't really dusty before, but I really want to keep moisture out of it. And so the other thing I did is I took the wheels off. It's a little California Air Tools compressor. I went with the aluminum tank version. It's quite quiet. It runs quite well. It fit perfectly in where I needed it, because unfortunately I don't have the largest garage, although I wish I had a 4-bay car garage. It's only a two-car garage, and so I had to you know, try to find everywhere a nice nook and sort of hole for it, if you will. And this is a perfect spot to put this little compressor, and it's worked fine. And so anyways, what I did is I took the wheels off it. I put some anti-vibration pads. Oh, the other thing I did, which I think is kind of cool, is you know, you have to drain your compressor every time you use it, or you shouldn't leave it without draining it. And unfortunately in this tank here, the drain was on the other side, so it was very difficult to get to. And so now all I got to do, and I've got it sort of, you know, plumbed, and it goes down underneath my cabinet so you don't see it. All I got to do is, you know, in this case it's open, but when I'm ready to put the compressor on, I just close that, and voila. And so, you know, fill it up with air, and then when I'm done, I open it, and automatically the excess water that's in the tank kind of spews out at the very, very back, and don't see it, don't hear it so much, and that's worked out really well. So I'm happy with what I've done with this compressor here. So yeah, so I guess that'll do for now. I hope you've enjoyed my little tour. Sorry about that. What I've done in my shop here. Again, just trinkets and things that I kind of go about and kind of figure out. Dust was really bothering me, and my compressor, I really wanted to render it as dry as I possibly could. And so I just wanted to show you how that worked out for me. Anyways, thank you so very. Oh, sorry, one last thing. If you have a reel like I've got here, I purchased this, I guess it's like a little stand, you can see it at the back, a stand for it, and it's a swivel stand, and it's actually made by Coxreels, and it allows the, sorry, shaky here, I gotta grab my hose. So yeah, it allows it to swivel. And so that has been really handy. If I have to go, you know, sort of this side, it doesn't put excess pressure on the hose as I'm pulling it out, as well as if I have to go, you know, sort of towards the front. So it makes it a little bit more on the mobility. I just think that was a nice little add-on. So Coxreels does manufacture that swivel, if you will. And here, I'll try to zoom in. There it is. And so yeah, that's been a great addition. I really like that thing too. Anyways, one more little thing to add into the video. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you've got any questions, please email me directly or post a comment, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much, everyone, and stay safe, and we'll see you again soon.